Hello and welcome back to Green Money Momentum, where we talk about market movements, making money, and money momentum. I'm your host, Trevor, and we are here for yet another daily talk of stock. And so the markets were bloody once again. We saw the mass sell-off that we have been seeing all year in the markets continue today. And that is because the PCE numbers came in today, the personal consumption numbers, and the reports showed that inflation was a little bit higher than some economists expected for February. And then also the general consumer is just not too happy with what is happening right now. So almost everybody is getting pinched, and just overall, the inflation numbers don't look the best. But this just continues the storyline that we have been talking all of 2025, and that is the three-headed dragon when it comes to fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And those three factors are inflation, interest rates, and tariffs. And so anytime any one of these three things are talked about, the markets react like a spoiled brat if the news isn't great. So if the news is negative, the markets just throw a fit and go right back down. Each time any of these three are talked about, there's a pretty massive sell-off in the markets. But what I want to encourage investors to remember is that what we are looking for in the markets is to invest for the long term and to have a big picture and look for great plays and opportunities, because the market is perpetual and it goes on forever. And despite what we have been seeing lately, the markets will recover. So we want to position ourselves into great plays. And even though this year a lot of the fear around inflation, interest rates, and tariffs have seemed like the end of the world, let's remember that during all of this, we have also seen some pretty big investments into the economy. So we saw just last month, Apple was talking about a $500 billion investment, including bringing some factories out to places such as Texas. We recently saw the Hyundai $20 billion investment into U.S. manufacturing. They're talking about a plant in Louisiana. And then to start all the investing in January, we did have the OpenAI, Oracle, SoftBank $500 billion investment into AI. So if you're able to look past everything that we have been facing, all the fear, uncertainty, and doubt and negativity, if you're able to look through the forest, you could see that there is some pretty big money moves being made. And with that being said, tariffs have been the talk, but something that Trump also has talked about is eliminating the income tax completely, the federal income tax. And well, it looks like the Mississippi governor did that for his state, eliminating state income tax. And so this is going to go through all the way till the year 2030. But this is a positive for people that are in Mississippi. So congrats to anybody who is in Mississippi. Having your state income tax eliminated is absolutely awesome. That's 2 thumbs up right there. And so with everything going in the economy, we still want to talk about some of our favorite plays here. So we're going to talk all today about DWave Quantum, ticker symbol being QBTS. We're also going to talk about BigBearAI, and then also the stock DJT. And so we're going to start here by looking at DWave Quantum. We're going to start here with the technical analysis on DWave, and you can see that I have 3 trend lines drawn out here, and this is just to show the bullish pattern that we have been seeing form in QBTS. And so all of quantum has been pretty strong since the tail end of 2024. We did see all quantum plays in general have a big jump up into January, and it stayed pretty up until the NVIDIA CEO came out and had a bearish take about quantum. Because of that, the whole sector dropped off, and then recently this massive uptick that we've seen in DWave Quantum comes off some pretty positive Q4 earnings that they had. So they reported that their bookings have went up, and then also that they expect their earnings in 2025, so for the Q1 of 2025, to quadruple their Q4 revenue. And so if we look at the revenue in DWave Quantum all time, let me get myself off screen here, we could see, wrong button. We could see here that DWave Quantum has never had a revenue for a quarter above 2 million. And for Q1 of 2025, they are saying that is going to be at 10 million. So that is an absolutely massive jump, a 4x when it comes to revenue in QBTS. And so right there, that sent the stock pumping up, but it got all the way up to its all-time high around $12. And we were talking about a possible pullback. So we were seeing ourselves overvalued on the RSI and then also the MACD as well. What we wanted to find was a support here in the middle around $8.50. We said that if we could stay around the middle, that would be the bullish case scenario. Well, we have fallen below that. And so if we do continue to fall, if the markets do continue to be bearish, the next level that we may see for DWave Quantum will be right around $5.50. So right around $5.50 to $6, I would consider to be a great buy for DWave Quantum. Not only does this show on the candlestick chart, but we are passing on the MACD. So we do have the cross showing that we are seeing some possibly more bearish chart movements coming up. And then we still are in the middle in the 50s on the RSI. So we could still drop on the RSI as well. But if you don't know, what makes me so bullish on DWave Quantum is that DWave Quantum isn't just a quantum computing company, but they are the leader in quantum. So they already have a lot of Fortune 500 companies they work alongside with. And then again, their bookings went up by like 500% for the end of the year. And they are expecting to 4x their revenue for the first quarter. So all that is huge. And then they also announced with those earnings that they have achieved quantum supremacy. And so they claim to have performed a materials simulation that surpasses the capability of even the most advanced classical supercomputers. Specifically, DWave said that its annealing quantum computer solved a difficult materials simulation problem that would have taken millions of years on the frontier supercomputer. So if that is true, that is absolutely huge. And it looks like DWave Quantum is starting to gain a lot of momentum going forward, and they're really perfecting what they are doing. And so next on the list is this little guy right here, BigBearAI. And as we've been talking about on this channel, I am very bullish on the Big Bear. And that is because BigBearAI is a AI company working alongside the government, and they have gained a lot of contracts recently. So they've recently gained a lot of contracts with the government when it comes to defense. They got a big contract right after they announced their new CEO in January. And then in February, in the shadows of the recently bearish market that we've seen, they gained another $13 million contract that is going to span over the next 4 years. And so BBAI is gaining government contracts. They have also been paying down debt, but there is some negatives that we're going to have to get to in a minute as well. But just looking at the technical analysis side of things in Big Bear, we see that we were on a hyper bullish trend here until we broke below that. So we also reached an all-time high in BigBearAI. We were above $10, but then the overall market just being bearish, we saw a big sell-off in BigBearAI. We have now broken past that bullish pattern there. And then right now we went from being very overbought on the MACD to now being oversold, and same thing on the RSI. So we were in overbought territories on the RSI. We have trailed back down, and now we are closer to oversold. So just on a technical analysis point of view, BigBearAI does look nice, and this does look like a spot where investors may be able to catch the stock low. And so with Big Bear, this is one of those companies where you can't just look at the technical analysis and the chart, but you need to look at the overall bigger picture as well. And so recently, this company has gotten themselves under some hot water, and you can see that there's even an investigation against BigBearAI, and that is because they disclosed with a filing with the SEC that they need to delay their annual 10K form, and that is because that there is a lot of sloppy accounting that has gone on with this company. And so this is going to affect past fiscal years, and then this also could affect how their convertible notes are done. The convertible notes due in 2026, and so all that is pretty big, and it has put a lot of investors into a spot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Currently, there is even a shareholder vote going on what they should do with their 2029 convertible notes, and if they should release this common stock. And so this is causing some fear around dilution, and not just that, but to make matters worse, a lot of the insiders in Big Bear has also dropped the stock as well. So you could see all these Pangium holdings. That is all a holding company within BigBearAI. So they work right alongside BigBearAI. They had a bunch of sells. And then we also see this officer, Sean Raymond. He has also had some sells in the Big Bear. And so overall, Big Bear has been bleeding recently, and just the catalysts don't look the most positive. And so myself, I have said on this channel for a very long time that I am very bullish on the Big Bear, but even I cannot ignore what we are seeing in this company right now. And so this puts myself and all investors into an uncertain spot on where the company may go into the future. Myself, I am very bullish on what Big Bear can do with how they're securing contracts, also their face scan technology at the airports. But then when we're talking about debt and the massive debt that they hold, and then also possible share dilution, this is an investment that now we need to proceed with some caution. And so for Big Bear, this is a very high risk, high reward, high risk, no reward situation. I understand both the bullish and the bearish case. I understand the bullish case of we want to see Big Bear gain more contracts. We have a CEO that has close connections to the president and then also the Department of Defense. So that's a positive. But on the negative, Big Bear does have a lot of debt. There is a possibility of dilution. And then also with all this sloppy accounting that has recently went on, it does put some concerns into the air of what is really going on with Big Bear. I have options contracts set to expire in September and into times of next year as well. And so with Big Bear, despite everything that we have seen recently, I still believe that this company can push through. And I think this is just a small bump on the overall bigger road. And so for the last stock, we have DJT, Trump Media and Technology Group. And you see here on screen, I have the last year in this stock. You could see these two major support lines here. This is just to show the major support that we are seeing in DJT. And so the reason why I have these lines drawn out here is in the last year, this stock for the most part has traded above these lines, but each time it has returned back to these major support levels. And so multiple times on the chart, we could see that it tapped there and for the most part stayed above these major supports of between $27 to $21. We did see a little bit of a retraction right before the elections. We did see a swift recovery. And then right now we have been in this downwards bearish trend in DJT. We are currently under the major supports of 21 to 27. And what is positive is recently when we did get the big news about the crypto ETFs, we did tap back up into these levels despite seeing the retraction that we most recently saw. So what I want to see in DJT is for us to break out of this bearish pattern. A positive is we are looking a bit low on the MACD, and then we are also pretty low on the RSI. And so if there's a time for the stock to run, well, things are starting to coil up in the positive direction. And what I have been saying with this channel is that if you are investing into DJT right now, you are investing into an opportunity that some may be missing. And that is because Donald J. Trump and his company Trump Media is bringing us not just into the age of truth, but also into the age of the mass adoption into cryptocurrency as well. And so DJT has been working all alongside different crypto projects. Of course, personally, we've seen his meme coins, but Trump Media and Technology Group also did make a $250 million investment with Charles Schwab. And then they were also talking about working with crypto.com to release their crypto ETFs. And so that is a positive. We're seeing Trump bring us more into the mass adoption into cryptocurrency. And so Trump Media is jumping more into cryptocurrency. And not only are they expanding on cryptocurrency, but we did also see the announcement of Truth Plus streaming on Roku. So Trump Media is growing in both terms of their cryptocurrency investments and what they're doing, bringing us into the mass adoption into cryptocurrency, and then also into streaming as well. And so both are a positive for the company. And overall, I am staying very bullish on DJT. And so during these times when the markets are bleeding and many investors are staying away, this is where I encourage investors to start to build their strong positions. So don't throw the whole house into one play by any means, but maybe start dollar cost averaging into your favorite plays, because eventually we will see a flip in the markets. I do think that the markets are going to continue on their downwards narrative trend as long as the three-headed dragon continues to push along with bad news. That three-headed dragon, again, is inflation, interest rates, and tariffs. And so all we have to see is one of those factors show positivity, and the markets may start to finally be positive. I think one of the biggest factors in there is the interest rates. And so once we see a cut later this year, that will be a positive. And then also, if we start to get some positive news around the tariffs, that will be huge for the markets. And then, of course, with inflation as well. And so even though the markets have been reacting pretty bloody lately and it hasn't been the best for inflation, at least we saw egg prices go down recently, right? So anyway, those are my top 3 stocks at the moment. I just wanted to go over those as we've been going over them a lot on this channel. I would love to hear what everyone else has to say about these stocks in the comment section below, or any others that you may want to see me talk about or that you're bullish on. So please drop a comment, please leave a like, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.